No, probably not. That's the short answer. The longer answer is, if you're an immigrant and you are worried that you might get deported, I think there's a bigger problem you should look at right now. And in order to understand the problem, which is super important for you, more than for you than for the country here, is to answer one very important question. Are you, as an immigrant, net positive or net negative for a country? Now, what does that mean? It means that you provide and contribute more to a country than you take back, okay? So if you have job, if you work, if you pay taxes, if you integrate, assimilate, if you learn the language, if you respect the law, respect the culture, maybe even learn that culture, which is amazing, if you learn a history, if you have friends around, then this is generally speaking net positive, okay? If on top you have a company, you employ people, you have kids, they go to school, they speak the language, they learn the culture, that is a super net positive. That's what this country and every other country in the West right now needs the most. If on the other hand, you don't do any of those things and you stay at home watching Netflix and waiting for the government to send you a few £100 every week so you can continue watching on Netflix, that is most likely net negative, unless you have some disability, illness, or you're just elderly, which obviously it's a different story. Now, which one are you? If you can answer these questions, then you should be able to answer if you are going to be deported or not, if this is going to happen. Because bear in mind, that might never happen. This is just politicians promising things right now. The way we will see what happens in the future. But it's a fair point. It's a fair point to mention it as a politician, because the country right now, as you can probably feel it, is at the breaking point when it says, okay, we've had enough. We've had enough of people coming over from all over the places, for paying them to stay here, do nothing, and then being told that we can't even mention these things because we are being called, I don't know, racist or something, right? People are fed up with this, and the governments and politicians were seeing it. And that's why you see this shift occurring all over the West, when politicians are picking this up, because that's the anger, that's the power for politics, okay? But that's the raw power of people in the country, and especially in the UK, you can definitely see it. You see, if you are net positive, you shouldn't be worried, although being an immigrant, it's never-ending job. Okay, you have to keep integrating and keep giving back, because you are essentially, we are guests here. It's like somebody inviting you to their home, and you would just say, "Oh, hello, I came in nicely, I took my shoes off, and then I start doing some stupid things." That's not the way, right? You will be probably asked to leave the house. You're going to have to behave throughout all your stay in that place. Okay, so if you stay in that home for a few hours, that few hours you have to behave. You have to respect the rules, the law, the ways they live in that house, the people, the homeowner. You can't just say, "Oh, I behaved for 2 hours, and then the next 2 hours I'm going to just smash the place in pieces," right? That's not going to work. Same happens with the country. Now, right now, the country is going through some real problems, as we know. So they're like falling apart, right? It's really bad in the UK right now, of course, I agree. But it's going to get better soon, and it's going to need loads of people, loads of energy, goodwill, hard work to rebuild what can be rebuilt. Many things will have to be destroyed, like especially the benefits system, maybe even public health system, maybe all these 3 things people were given, maybe even pension. It will not be allowed to exist in this current form, not because we don't want to or we don't like them, it's because we cannot afford to have them, because they were built in a different system, in a different society, in a different time, like decades ago, right? It's changed. The countries have got no money. So obviously, if there is somebody sitting at home and getting paid for doing nothing, that should be immediately taken away. And you see, the biggest thing about this is, it's not even for the country only, or for people in this country. Excuse me, because everybody is pissed off. It's because the person claiming benefits where they shouldn't, and I'm not going to judge anyone, you know yourself if you should or you shouldn't. Person doing that is doing extreme damage to themselves. You're basically conditioning yourself that, one, you should be given things for nothing, which is absolutely untrue. It's like there was this weird period in the history of humankind where you can actually get things for nothing, but it would never happen before, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, right? In my opinion, that's the one. Number 2, you would just condition yourself that you don't have to work, and you can't even work. Okay, you probably know somebody who lost a job, right? And the biggest problem about losing a job is to getting out of the system, of the routine, right? That's what many people, what we need. You need to wake up early. You're going to have a purpose. Wake up, have a breakfast, I don't know, do some jogging or something, run, or just prepare for work, go to work, do your work, whatever that is. Come back, have a dinner, then do shopping. And it's like, it gives you structure for a day and for your life. Many people think their job status is the main purpose of, because of whatever you're doing at work. No, the actual purpose about job and everything around it is to give you structure in your day. So you can actually go around, because if you let people do nothing for too long, they start doing stupid things. And if they stay there for a very long time, they lose the ability to actually work. And this is the danger and distraction behind benefits. Okay, and people, like, when I came to England, years ago, I remember there were actually places on the internet, internet forums, where you can actually go on and read a step-by-step guide on how to play the system, right? How to apply for what type of benefits and this and that. And I've seen these things, right? It was years ago. I don't think they exist anymore. It was like big things, years ago, even in the British media. But that was happening. There was many people taking benefits for nothing. There were people taking benefits and living back in Poland or Romania or whatever the Eastern European country. This is what we are seeing actually now in Poland. There were many Ukrainians coming to Poland. They were given just money from just like that, just because they came, which is absolute insanity. And then they would go back to their own home country, partly, in the war, but whatever, they would go there with their families. They stay there, we're still claiming money from Polish government. Which is kind of an irony, isn't it? It's like, what comes around goes around or something, right? Is that the saying? It's like, we Poles were doing it for England, and then years later, somebody else did that for Poles, for Poland. So if you're on benefits net negative, then you probably should worry. And I'll tell you this, it's probably going to be good for you, okay? I think if you're on benefits, and you shouldn't, if you haven't worked for a long time and you're just managing to survive on just little money government provides you, you are you're actually destroying yourself. So by being forced back to your home country, where maybe going to have to find a job, maybe you're going to have to change drastically, otherwise you're just going to have nothing to eat. It's going to be a good motivation for you to actually restart your life. I remember when I came to England and I couldn't find a job. That was a different time. That was really difficult to find any kind of job. And I was looking for, you couldn't find a job to clean the plates, right? Like kitchen porter or self-employed bicycle courier. It was like, no, you have to have experience and like really hard. My biggest worry was not that I'm going to have to go back home, but it's like, am I going to have enough money to buy food? Forget about going home. I wouldn't have money for tickets. Like the feeling of like, okay, I'm running out of money I came with, and it was like £200 only. And it took me 2-3 months to get actually some money coming in, a job. But that period of time was it was extremely stressful and difficult, but it was the most motivational time in my life, because I knew if I'm not going to do it, I basically not going to have money to eat and drink. It's like there was no boats. I burned all my boats. I wouldn't recommend doing it, right? It was a bit difficult, but that was what allowed me to become who I am. If I was given money back then, straight away, because I came, which I could probably apply for some, I didn't know. And thanks God I didn't do it. Maybe I would end up just being lazy bum. Maybe I would just be one of those lazy immigrants living in my home. The only time I'm going to go out is to do some shopping, get some booze, come back home and watch TV. It could have been just as well. So you see, there's a danger. It's like, in our lives, many people need a change, needs a wake-up call for whatever you do. Maybe you're lazy, maybe you need to change your job, maybe you need to change your friends, family, whatever it is. We often wait for too long until life actually makes us do these things, and then it's a bit painful. But nevertheless, it happens. That's the way of life, finding its way, right? So if you are this one person or few people watching me and you're on benefits, and I doubt it, but I think it's important to say it, then look at this now like this. If that is you and they're going to send you back your home, that's fine. You probably deserved it. And you should be happy that they're not going to ask you to pay all that money back. Because frankly, I don't know any other country who's this stupidly generous for people just because they came. I can't imagine any country, and I don't know any country anywhere in the West or in Asia where you can just come and say, hi, it's me, I'm going to stay here forever. Don't ask me how and what, just pay me money and give me a place to stay. It's insane. Look, as an immigrant myself, and most immigrants would agree, we are fine with the rules. We are fine if you say, look, this is what you need to do if you want to stay. Okay, this is what you have to do. This is what you need to, these are the certain behaviors expected. It's fine. That's what it used to be everywhere. I remember, you know, when I was a kid, I was dreaming about going to America, right? It was like a big thing. But I would not be able to because it was expensive. My parents wouldn't be able to afford it. But also because there was no reason for me to go. I could not make it. So I was trying to be a basketball player, right? And I was hoping I'm going to be a very good basketball player and I'm going to start playing NBA. And maybe that's how I'm going to go to a college to America where I'm going to go to NBA. It obviously didn't happen. I was never good enough basketball player and all of it. But that was my plan as a kid, as a teenager, right? And then things changed, and then suddenly everybody could go everywhere. And so, like, what's the point? It loses all the motivation. It loses every reason for anyone to actually to change the country and actually go there because they want to improve their lives. And in order for you to improve your life, you have to work. There's no other way around. You can't improve your life by sitting and dreaming and lying down or something, watching Netflix. No matter how many motivational videos you watch, you're not going to improve your life. You're going to have to do it with your own hands and your head. That's it. So if you're moving to another country, that should be a mandatory thing. It's like, okay, what's your reason for coming here? I want to make money. Okay, well, then you're going to have to make more money to pay back to the country, right? Because you're coming here. You're making money here. That means there are opportunities you want. Fine. Take them opportunities. But you need to pay back for the opportunities you've been given. It's really insane. I don't understand how is this controversial about these deportations, right? It's like, there are people saying, look, there are generations of people, families staying here for very long. Like, okay, are you net positive or negative? Simple as that. Like, why would anybody want to stay, even as an immigrant, if you're net negative? Why would you do it to yourself? Why would you want to destroy your life willingly? By doing nothing, being a bum, I don't think you achieve a lot. I don't think you're going to be like find your enlightenment or happiness in life. No, you won't. You're not going to like it. That's it. It messes with your head. It's really not that complicated. So I think, in short, no, you're not going to get deported if you're net positive. I'm sorry, net negative, probably different story. But like I said, it doesn't mean you should just stop doing it, stop doing things. You're going to have to work on it all day long, every day. Being an immigrant is a journey, lifelong journey. Okay, it's not like, hey, I came, 2 years and then I'm like you. No, I'm never going to be like British. My kids might be, but not me. So therefore, I need to work to become as good as I can in being part of the society, the culture around. And this is why I keep talking about this on my channel here. The immigration, the biggest job for any immigrant is to assimilate best of their abilities and keep improving. Learn language, learn culture, make more friends, get better job, all these things. And the thing is, the best thing about it is, it will benefit your life most. Okay, it feels like, oh, I'm going for this country because they want me to. But that's all. At the end, you are the biggest benefit. Benefits. Funny enough, this is the biggest benefit for you personally, for your own life and your improvement and your, job, career, whatever that is. There's no better way. So that's that. If you like this video, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. If you're not subscribing, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're an immigrant, are you actually? Obviously, you're not going to tell me if you're in the comments you're net negative, because don't do it, because you're going to leave it. It'll be easy to find you. But if you're here, it'll be living in the UK. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know people like this, because I used to know people like that. I don't see them anymore. I think they're not around as much. At least I don't see them around me. Well, anyways. Let's see what happens. I don't think this might not even happen, right? It's like big talk now. We'll see where this all goes. But that's the time for you to maybe reevaluate your lives. Do I actually contribute or I take more? I suppose I could probably do nothing for the rest of my days, and I'll still contribute net more than the average citizen, native. So at least I've done something. So even if I have to go, I say, okay, at least I was not a parasite. I wasn't leeching on the system, right? Anyways, have a great day, everyone. Cheers.